Welcome to Fun Time Travel. So today we're going to talk about passports and some passport tips that'll help you as you plan your cruise, whether you're just thinking about a cruise or you've already got one booked. A lot of people still debate whether or not you should get a passport for your cruise. We think you could, but hopefully these tips will help you out and maybe help other people out too. So let's get into it.
So do you need a passport to cruise? The answer is not always. While we always recommend that you get one, there are tons of cruises that you can take without a passport. And these specific cruises are called closed loop cruises. And what it is they begin and end in the same U.S. port and stay in the Western Hemisphere. The most simple description is closed loop cruises only require a birth certificate and a driver's license.
Now that said, you should always check with your travel agent or your cruise line before booking to make sure that you don't need a passport for your selected itinerary, because even by staying in the Western Hemisphere and by doing a cruise that goes out of Miami and comes back to Miami, there is always a chance that one of the ports you visit on a closed loop cruise might actually require a passport. Not to mention, cruising on a driver's license and a birth certificate, while that is the simplest definition, driver's license requirements are changing with the new enhanced driver's licenses or the Real ID, and it can make things really confusing. So that's why we just think it's easier to cruise with a passport. We fly on our passport, cruise with our passport, whatever. So, it's a little expense, but it is, like I say, we think easier.
Thanks for watching our video. We'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos.
And for more tips and tricks and cruising information, please check us out on our other channel, Sandy Sun Travel.
And if you're looking to plan a cruise or any other vacation, head on over to sandysuntravel.com where we can help you plan your dream vacation. Plus, if you're feeling lucky, you can scroll down the page to a spot where you can enter to win a $10,000 dream vacation.
So how long does it take to get a passport? The Department of State says 7 to 10 weeks. I almost said 7 to 8. I don't know why. But it's 7 to 10. We've seen it as long as 6 months and as short as 3 weeks. You can pay extra for expedited services that take as little as 14 days. We suggest that anyone considering a cruise, go ahead and apply for your passport now. Then you'll have it when you're ready.
Now, what if my passport expires soon, right? So maybe you've got a passport, you're starting to look at a cruise, and you realize, again, when you book your cruise, you should double check the expiration date on your passport, because there's a rule out there, and it's called, very ambiguously, the 6-month passport validity rule. What does it mean? Well, it means that if your passport is due to expire within 6 months of the last day of your trip, then they won't let you cruise. We're not sure why it's a rule. We could speculate. We have some ideas.
Yeah.
But for cruising, it's the rule. So be sure to check your passport, and if you need to renew it, get on it, sooner than later.
Yeah. So what if I get left behind in a port? First off, don't.
Yeah.
But if something happened and you do end up getting left behind, it's always great to have a passport. We always recommend keeping your passport in your safe.
One thought on that too. A lot of people say, well, can I just get the passport card? This is why I think it's important to have a passport. Because if you have to fly home or you're flying in a foreign, the passport card only lets you cross the border on land into Canada or to and from Canada, to and from Mexico.
Right.
But your regular passport book will allow you to fly. So.
Right. We recommend you keep your passport in your safe in your cabin on the boat. And because if you end up getting left behind in a port, the ship will send security to your cabin to get your, all of your belongings there in your safe and leave it at the, with the authorities at that port. They will help you make arrangements to get back home or meet the ship in the next port, but it's usually at your cost.
Yeah, there may be some reasons why the cruise line might pay for it, but typically you don't want to get left behind.
No.
So we got a few more tips for you. One, we always recommend, and I think the cruise lines do as well, but take a photo ID ashore in port, and take a photocopy, or I should say or take a photocopy of your passport with you. Leave the passport in your safe inside your cabin, unless the port you're in is one of those rare ports that requires you to take a passport off the ship with you. It's always easier to get help if you have proof of your ID. And when you do travel with your passport in port, or even that photo ID and your cash, keep that in a safe place.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I keep my money in my front pocket and I walk around with my hand in my front pocket at the same time, because it's so easy for pickpockets to get to that stuff if you put it in your back pocket. Or don't store it in like the outer pocket of a backpack or bag, or like I say, your back pocket. Don't leave your backpack open, or your purse, whatever. It's too easy to get that stuff. And in some ports, those passports are they're a hot commodity, because they're not only can they be counterfeited, but somehow they can sell. I don't know. There's a lot of nefarious people out there who want to do bad things. Don't give them the chance.
And ladies, I always use a crossbody purse, and it's always, right here in front of me. So if someone was going to try and take something from me, it's going to be very obvious.
They're going to get another thing coming.
That's right. Well, these tips aren't all inclusive, but they should help you as you start thinking about your cruise. There are a number of reasons a cruise might require a passport, and the rules around travel change often. So that's why we recommend, checking with your cruise line.
Absolutely. Or your travel agent directly. Actually, we recommend checking with your cruise line and your travel agent. You just don't want to have out-of-date information. Like, well, the last time I cruised, well, sometimes stuff changes.
A lot of times stuff changes.
So here's a question. Do you travel with your passport? We'd love to know that. Tell us that, and maybe you've got a great tip regarding passports. Tell us that in the comments below. So, hey, that's it for today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.